There is a book so short and so brutally honest that most people put it down after 3 pages, not because it is difficult to read, because it is difficult to face. The Book of 5 Rings, written in 1645 by Miyamoto Musashi. At the end of his life, alone on a mountain, he wrote down everything he had learned, not about sword fighting, about how a man should carry himself in a world that will not go easy on him. This book taught me how to trust myself again. I used to put every decision on trial before I made it. Musashi ended that. YouTube does not want you watching this. This kind of content gets quietly buried, not deleted, just pushed somewhere the algorithm knows you will never find it. So if this reached you, pay attention. 8 rules. Let's go. Rule 1, your posture is a confession. Musashi opens the water book with something that sounds almost too simple. He says to maintain your posture at all times, in battle, in rest, in retreat. But here is the thing most people miss. He is not talking about standing up straight for the sake of appearances. He is saying that how you hold your body is a direct broadcast of what is happening in your mind. Slouched shoulders do not just look weak, they are weak. The body and the mind are not separate systems running parallel to each other. They are the same system. When you shrink physically, your thinking shrinks with it. When you carry yourself like someone who has already decided they are going to lose, the world around you responds accordingly. People read you before you speak a single word. Stand like you have arrived somewhere on purpose, because if you do not believe in your own presence, why would anyone else? Rule 2. Precision is not optional, it is everything. There is a scene in Demon Slayer where Rengoku says that half-hearted commitment is the same as defeat. Musashi would agree completely. He writes that a single stroke of the sword can determine life or death, and therefore every action must be taken with full commitment. No hesitation, no wasted movement, no second-guessing mid-swing. He even says this applies to small things. If your hands are careless while pouring tea, they will be careless when it matters most. This rule has changed how I approach ordinary days, the email you write sloppily, the conversation you half show up to, the goal you pursue at 60% effort. Every one of those is a rehearsal for mediocrity. You are training your mind to accept incomplete execution as normal. Precision is a habit you build in the small moments so it is available to you in the large ones. Rule 3. Rigidity is not strength, it is a slow death. Musashi compares the ideal warrior to water. Water does not fight the shape of its container. It becomes the shape. It does not resist the rock in its path. It flows around it, and over 10,000 years, it dissolves the rock entirely. He is telling you that the ability to adapt is not a compromise of your identity. It is the most advanced expression of it. The man who can only fight one way will eventually meet a situation his one way cannot handle. The man who can shift, adjust, and respond without losing his core, that man is dangerous in every environment. Think about every time you have been caught off guard and panicked because your plan did not survive contact with reality. Musashi would say, that was not bad luck. That was rigidity being exposed. Build your principles deep. Hold your tactics loosely. Rule 4. Read your opponent before he reads you. This rule operates on 2 levels simultaneously. Musashi says to study the mind of your opponent, to watch their stance, their breathing, their words, because everything tells a story. Fear shows itself. Hesitation has a posture. Overconfidence has a rhythm you can exploit. But in the same breath, he warns you to guard your own thoughts just as carefully. If you become predictable, if your emotions are written on your face, if your next move can be anticipated, you have already lost half the fight before it begins. This is not just combat wisdom. Think about the last negotiation you were in or the last difficult conversation. The person who could see clearly and reveal nothing held all the power in that room. Emotional intelligence, in Musashi's framework, is a weapon. And like any weapon, it cuts both ways. Rule 5. Emotion is a liability you cannot afford. Musashi is direct about this. He does not say emotions are bad. He says they must serve your intent, not rule over it. Anger makes your sword heavy. Fear dulls your reflexes. Arrogance blinds your vision. He compares the ideal mental state to still water, perfectly clear, perfectly calm, reflecting everything around it without distortion. In Stoic philosophy, they call this equanimity. In sports psychology, they call it the zone. Musashi called it survival. I remember reading this during a period when I was making every major decision from a place of anxiety or wounded pride. The decisions I made from that state were almost universally bad. Not because I lacked information, because I was processing that information through a fog of emotion. A calm warrior sees every move before it happens. An emotional one swings in the dark. The enemy who can make you angry has already won half the battle. Do not hand that weapon to anyone. Rule 6. Patience is not waiting, it is loaded readiness. There is a story about a master archer in feudal Japan who stood before a target for 3 full years before releasing a single arrow. His students thought he had lost his mind. When he finally released, the shot was perfect. That is, Musashi's concept of patience brought to life. He writes that a swordsman who rushes his strike exposes himself to a fatal counter. He compares it to a river. It does not force its way over stone. It waits, builds pressure, finds the path of least resistance, and eventually moves everything in its way. In a world addicted to urgency, where everyone is performing busyness like it is a virtue, this rule is almost revolutionary. The timing of your strike matters as much as the strike itself. Act too early, and you waste the effort. Act too late, and the window is gone. Master the rhythm of whatever you are doing, in work, in relationships, in ambition, and move only when the timing belongs to you. Rule 7. Distractions are attacks. Treat them like it. Musashi writes that a distracted mind causes hesitation in the body. He is describing something neuroscience confirmed centuries later, that divided attention is the enemy of high performance. But he goes further. He says, distractions are not random. They are weapons used by those who cannot defeat you directly. The swordsman who turns his head at the sound of a shout will never see the blade that strikes him. In your life right now, what is making noise designed to pull your attention away from what actually matters? Social media engineered to hijack your dopamine, drama that feeds on your emotional bandwidth, the opinions of people who have nothing invested in your outcome. Every time you allow these things to redirect your focus, you are choosing to lose a fight you did not have to enter. The one who remains steady while everyone around them wanders, that is the one who controls the outcome. Be immovable. Rule 8. The only opponent worth obsessing over is yesterday's version of you. This is the rule that cracked me open the most. Musashi writes, and I want you to hear the full weight of this, that defeating an enemy is a fleeting victory. Defeating yourself, your weaknesses, your doubts, your limitations, that is the real war, and it never ends. He says, do not compare yourself to others because their path is not yours. Look inward. Sharpen yourself daily, like a blade that is never finished being honed. The warrior, who only wants to beat others, will one day run out of opponents. The warrior, who wants to master himself, will never know stagnation. This is not motivational poster language. This is a 400-year-old samurai telling you that external validation is a dead end, that the scoreboard that matters is the one only you can see. The question is not whether you are better than the person next to you. The question is whether you are better than you were yesterday. And if the answer is no, you already know what to do. Musashi died weeks after finishing this book. No kingdom, no army, just clarity. That is what mastery looks like at the end. Not applause, not approval. Just a man who fully trusted himself. The 8 rules are yours now. Use them. And if you want content YouTube will never let me say here, uncensored, unfiltered, nothing suppressing it, join the Patreon. You can find the link in the description. I'll see you soon.